Hi, what's happening, guys? My name's Nick, licensed architect in the US and Colorado. Today's a quick tutorial on a pretty useful little tool called Microsoft Powertoys. And this is a different tutorial than I usually do. I just wanted to quickly show you guys in case you can also use it as well with your daily workflow. So let's get into it. I have it open here. You're going to want to go to apps.microsoft.com and search Powertoys to download this. It is a completely free download and shouldn't have any extra purchases or anything like that, I don't believe. So you just hit download that, and we can get started. Under description here, I just want to show you a few useful tools. Always on top, pin any window to stay on top of all others is a nice little tool you can use. So these are all included within the Powertoys download. And real quick, also a little something important to say is that if you are a Mac user, this isn't going to work for you. However, if you use Windows 10 or 11 on your desktop, then it will work for you. So if you have Windows 10 or 11, this will work. If you have a Mac, it will not. Sorry, Mac users out there. But back to the kind of different tools within this Powertoys deal. You can use, so I want to cover Peek as well, which is it allows you to instantly preview files within File Explorer, which I think is really helpful without having to open them in a PDF viewer like Bluebeam or something. So you can just kind of quickly glance at it, which I think is especially useful when you don't name or someone doesn't name the file correctly, or it just has a really suspect name that you have no idea what it is. So that is something I want to show you. Also, the keyboard manager, I use that to remap some keys and shortcuts on my computer, just on my keyboard layout, and I'll show you one example of how I use that. And then let's see, image resizer. I don't really use that. However, you can. Color picker is one that we'll talk about as well. So let's get into it. Hopefully you've downloaded that. And I'm going to just show you real quick. This little icon is what the Powertoys software looks like on your desktop. Is this little multicolored computer or whatever it is. So I'm going to open that, and this is kind of what the home screen looks like once you have it downloaded. You have home in general. Home looks like I have an update I could download, but I'm not going to do that right now. I think there's always updates happening throughout the month, but this is kind of always on in the background as long as you turn it on, and you can have it run when your computer starts up, which is what I do. So these are kind of all these tools that we were just talking about in that description, listed here on the right with little toggles on and off. So you can toggle things on or off as you'd like. Whichever ones you don't use, maybe toggle them off. I should probably do that as well. But I have the ones I use regularly toggled on, of course. So here's that Peek one. And I just want to show you that real quick. So for Peek, you're going to want to toggle that on, and then you'll go here and you basically, so once you toggle that on, you have an activation method, which is pretty common for all of these. You'll kind of set up a shortcut. For me, it came up as a spacebar shortcut, which I actually like, so I didn't have to create a custom shortcut, which is kind of nice. So you should be able to just use spacebar for that. Always run. So these behaviors you can also customize, of course, and they're kind of nice too. And let's see. So basically, let me just show you that real quick, how that works and everything else. I just have a folder open in File Explorer, right? And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different documents in here, mostly PDFs. So say I want to look at what each of these is. Normally, you really can't see a preview of them. You just see the size, type, file location, etc. But you don't get a quick preview. So that spacebar is what I'm going to hit right now to show you that and how that works. That's the spacebar button. Look how quick that is. Look how quick that preview pops up and shows you exactly what that, it shows me the whole file there, the whole PDF. So I'll do that for another one for the purple book. Look at that. It just automatically quickly pops up and shows me what that's all about. Same thing here. Sometimes it takes a few, obviously if it's a huge file, it'll take a few seconds to upload. But I mean, it's pretty nice. Like it's pretty handy. You can just close it back out without having to open it within a separate PDF viewer like Bluebeam or Adobe or whatever. So I really like that little tool. As long as you have it toggled on here, right there, you should be good to go. And so that is what that's all about. Okay. Super useful. I would recommend it. Next, let's go back home here. So we just talked about the peak tool. We'll now talk about the color picker tool. So let's actually pull, let's see here. All right, let's pull this back up just to show you how this works. So the color picker tool, if we go into that, click on that here. Same thing, activation shortcut. You set that up. You can edit that however you'd like. I set my hotkeys up for just the Windows button and then a number pad 1. So that, and then the activation behavior is like pick a color first. So basically, let's run that now. It should work on within this, I think. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I just hit the hotkeys that I have for that, and look at that. It's just going to show me that 6-digit hex basically. You can change it for whatever you'd like. You can do hex, RGB, the two most common ones probably. But it's just really nice to be able to have that, and it just turns off kind of automatically quickly. But you can just hit the hotkeys to turn it back on, and it's going to show me all the different hex numbers that are on the screen here. Right now, it's not a great example because I don't have a lot of colors going on, obviously, but you can see that it works, right? Very effectively. So, and it seems to work on Bluebeam and Revit as well if you need it within Revit. Bluebeam is probably the most useful when you're in a PDF looking at things. So again, that is the color picker tool. Let's just quick hit escape and exit out of that. Back home. One other tool I want to show you. So the always on top tool is a nice one. I have that on as well. And there's more customization features about the appearance and behavior down below and kind of what that looks like, color mode. So you can play with all this. I'm not going to get too into it, but that's another one you can use. And the last one I want to show you is the keyboard manager. And this one's a little bit trickier, but not too bad. So you just want to have that toggled on again if you're using it. And you can open editor. That might open in my other screen here. Yes, it did. And so open editor, once you hit that, this is what it looks like. It's very straightforward. All you need to do is hit add new remapping. And then you have key or shortcut here. So you just press to start recording a key like G, for instance. There you go. And then allow chords, you can have that check marked. And then you just go remap to key or shortcut. Sorry, what I actually wanted to show you was the disable key or shortcut, which is what I use it for. So the reason I use this tool is if you keep hitting a key that's on your keyboard that you don't want to hit and it turns something on or off, you can fully turn a key off by using the disable key or shortcut, and then you just hit save. So I'm not going to turn off G because I want to use that. But as you see here, so I'm going to cancel out of that. But as you see here, I have if you just click here under this remapping that I already have set up, the number lock is right next to my backspace button on my keyboard. And I would continuously hit that number lock button and then could not use, because I want to always have it on so I can use my number pad, right, on my keyboard. But with it right next to the backspace button, I kept hitting it accidentally. And so this is how to fix that. This is how I mean, it's worked really well for me. So I'd recommend, if you have a key that keeps bugging you and you keep bumping it accidentally and you don't really need it, you can do something like this where you disable the key. Whatever you disable the key, so this is the number lock key, right? So I've already hit that and I've put it here, and then check marked allow chords, and then for action, disable key or shortcut, and then I just save it. Okay. So whatever, if that number, basically you can kind of, the tricky thing is like if it's on when you disable it, it'll stay on. If it's off when you disable it, it'll stay off. So you just want to kind of play with that and make sure the key is set to whatever toggle version you want it to be on or off. So I had to play with that a little bit to make sure that worked. But it's once it's set up, you don't have to ever mess with it, which is why I'm kind of struggling with this setting here, because I don't really use it once I have it set up, right? But just keep it saved, and this is where all your remapping keys will be saved. Okay, so that's that, and that's basically it for. Let me see if there's any other tools I want to show you. Find My Mouse is kind of effective if you lose your mouse on one of your somehow on one of your monitors or something. You can do Find My Mouse. I don't really use this because I usually know where my mouse is, but you can set to different settings. You can like have a let's see, press the left control twice to activate. So that's just kind of like highlights where your mouse is if for some reason, and then as you saw it turns off. You can set for how long it's going to turn on and off for. I think mine turns off within a few seconds, but you can keep it on for a while if you'd like. So that's another, I mean, whatever software you're in, it should work just fine. I've kind of tested it in others. So that's kind of a nice one, a nice little feature with Powertoys. I think that is really all I want to show you at the moment. Those tools, the peak and the keyboard manager and the color picker, are the three I've investigated and used the most. Awake is kind of nice. Manage the state of your device when Awake is active. And, I don't really bother with that much, but you can set different features for that. Fancy zones is another one that I think people use this for when you have multiple monitors and you want a certain layout being used for like where everything is on your screen. Wow. So see, once you click into that, I haven't even investigated this much, but you can set it for rows or grids or columns for your different windows, I guess. Maybe something I'll explore more in another video, but for now, I don't think many of you would use that as much. But yeah, so that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit that subscribe and like button and send a comment down below, and I will get to that when I can and answer those. Thanks for your time today, and have a great day.